feel that there needs to be a discussion about. So whatever happens with this individual, you're going to be setting a precedence that likely is going to get talked about sometime in the fairly near foreseeable future. So I'd ask that you consider that on this particular matter, because once again, I believe very strongly that we need to get more from our boards, and we need to give them more. That the expectations for attendance and the like, in my opinion, needs to improve. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dana Richardson.
Dana Richardson, 5830 Bahama Way South. I'd just like to say, I agree with Amber. We just need to follow the laws, the ordinances, the rules that we have in the code. It makes things easy. It's a fair playing field. You can't make a decision, well, we'll do it for this person, but not another person. So I just wanted to make that clear that, you know, as we go forward, we really need to play by the same rules for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have item 6C, a discussion on the freebie. So I know I brought this up last commission meeting on the freebie tipping policy. And so we looked at the contract last time. So not only does it specify that they cannot solicit tips, but that they actually cannot accept tips. And then since then, I've received a few pictures from residents writing the freebie, and I've forwarded a copy of that to the city attorney, to the city manager, so they can communicate that to the freebie account. And maybe the city clerk can forward that to the other commissioners, so if you want to see those pictures, we can have those. So I just want to see if we had a discussion with the freebie since last commission meeting and what the outcome was.
Yeah, actually, Jennifer did contact the freebie representative and actually received an email back from him today saying he was basically apologizing for that the company policy is that they cannot, and he would immediately take care of the issue. So, and we'll need to keep an eye on it, because I think we've sort of stressed that before, but I think as new drivers come on, things change, but we've made him aware of it, and he said he would take care of it.
Yeah. Because as I remember, one of the discussion was when we looked at the freebie contract was the reason that we're paying a higher rate than, for example, the free beach ride, which is tips only, but they don't pay their drivers an hourly rate. Is the conversation that was had at the time was that we're going to pay the $32, $33 an hour, whatever it is, so that they can then pay the drivers a fair living wage, so they don't have to depend on tips. Right. And so, if we're paying them a higher rate and they're accepting tips, then maybe we need to look at a lower rate where they can take tips. I mean, I don't know. So the letter came in today, or the email came in today?
Just got a response back from him today. Yes, sir.
Great. This way we can just note what date it was, because we're not going to, so going forward from today, we have a date on that. Thank you.
I got a comment on the freebie while we're on
Sure.
the subject. So and I brought this up, it was either last meeting or the meeting before, about my understanding was we were going to vote on what type of vehicles they were going to be using. And I said, we saw the Tesla out there. And then I think Commissioner Resnicki commented, she wrote it, and they said that was all they had available, so it's kind of like that or nothing. Where are we with that? Is it going to come back in front of us? Are we going to vote? Because there were talks about maybe new and improved golf cart style freebies. There were talks about implementing maybe some Teslas, no Teslas, all Teslas.
I don't have the answer. I think there's Jennifer. I think she may have.
It's on the next meeting.
Okay.
Yep, they have a presentation for you to go over all of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, I guess we'll get to talk about it in 2 weeks. Right, any other comments, questions on the freebie? All right, next is item 6D. So I've received numerous emails, phone calls, text messages from residents over the last several weeks, particularly from residents in Pastor Grill, 46th Avenue, 59th Avenue, the areas that are where we don't really have parking restrictions, or we have parking restrictions that are being ignored. And so one of the things that I wanted to ask the commissioners to consider is, I know we have the discretionary account with the sheriff, where we can allow them to more again, on an as-needed basis. So I don't know if this is a sheriff issue, if this is a parking enforcement issue. The reason I'm asking about the sheriff is because in particular, some of the residential areas like 46th and 59th, you know, they're blocking the beach parking. Individuals are blocking driveways, they're blocking mailboxes, which I understand is a federal guideline, so you have to be 15 feet from a mailbox. They're blocking fire hydrants. And so the question is, what can we do over the next 2 months during the summer, especially on Saturdays and Sundays, to either have more parking enforcement or have more sheriff dedicated for a couple hours. It usually seems to be somewhere between 9 and noon in the morning. That's the biggest issue. And I mean, I've seen it where neighbors can't get out of their house because they're just blocked in by cars, and they're parking they're parking all around the curbs. I mean, all around the corners. So, I mean, they're not 15 feet from a corner. They're not X number of feet from a fire hydrant or a mailbox. I've seen it where the post office will refuse to deliver mail on that day because they can't get their cars in close to the mailbox, so they're just passing that house by. So the question is, what can we do with either sheriff or parking enforcement to address some of those issues?
Can I comment on that really quick? Yes, so I've been made aware of that on 59th, and over the past few days I've been talking